placing a simple bet has advanced a lot in the recent years. Feels like the days of going into bookmakers like this one to have a quick punt are long gone. The digital age has transcended gambling into a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week grind, with people sticking their money into online accounts with no real limitation. All of the UK's big gambling corporations have jumped on this trend and created their own apps so people can have a flutter at their own comfort. When you think of people using their phones to place a bet instead of going down the traditional route, you think of the younger generation. We have over 430,000 problem gamblers in Britain, with a further 2 million at risk. Is this really acceptable in a day and age where help and advice is so accessible? In the media particularly, the topic of gambling is usually portrayed in a negative light. The press well documents the ideology that gambling is a sinful act that will only end with you losing all of your money. When in fact, that statement isn't entirely true. Gambling can change lives for the greater good, as seen in poker where 21-year-old Joe Cadder won the biggest tournament of them all, the World Series. He pocketed over £8 million in the process. Who said gambling was unprofitable? I feel it was important that I interviewed someone that my audience could potentially relate to. A good friend of mine has agreed to talk to me about how he got into gambling and how these promotions turned his hobby into an addiction. Okay, so when you're ready, I just want you to say your name, your age, your occupation and why you're here today.
Okay, my name's Joe, I'm 19, I work in a bar and I'm addicted to gambling.
I'm going to hand you a pack of cards here. You're going to tell me, what's the first game that springs to your mind when you see these?
Blackjack, for sure.
Why is that?
First time I went to the casino, I played blackjack.
Okay, did you win when you went?
I done alright.
Do you still play it now?
Occasionally.
Are you still winning a lot, or have the losses started to kick in?
6 and 2 threes.
I remember when you turned 18, went for a few drinks, as you do when you turn 18, and we went to the casino. Was that your first gambling experience, or had you delved into this a little bit earlier on in your life?
Well, when I was younger, I could buy a few scratch cards, about £20 a week I would spend.
£20 a week you'd spend on scratch cards?
On scratch cards, yeah.
Which ones? Was it the National Lottery ones, or...?
Like the Monopoly ones, or the
Monopoly
Bingo ones. Or...
Did you play online, or did you play...
No, just like from the corner shop.
From the corner shop. Did you win on these?
No, not much.
So if you weren't winning much, why would you do it?
It was fun.
At first, with all new things, was it a social activity?
To start off with, yeah.
When you mean to start off with, are you saying it's not now? Has it got more serious?
It's more serious now, but I still do it now and then for a bit of fun.
When you talk about seriousness, does this mean the stakes have been raised when you're gambling?
Yes.
What did it start with and what is it at now, if I can?
It started about £5 a week. It's
Okay.
gone up to about £30-40 a week.
Do you feel proud of that?
No, not at all.
When you go into these casinos, do they promote online gaming quite a lot?
At reception when you walk in, they do, yeah.
Explain more.
Well, as soon as you walk in, they're always saying there's bonuses online, deposit this amount and get this much in free bets.
How long was it before you started gambling online?
A few weeks in, not too long.
When you turned 18?
Yeah.
Was there like a motivation that got you into it, or was it just kind of you were going into the casino all the time, they're throwing it in your face about all these promotions?
It was more various YouTubers who bet online, like Stop and Step.
I've seen a few of his videos, I'm familiar. These
Yeah.
guys, they bet an obscene amount of money, but to me, I don't think it's real. Personally, I think they get paid by these big corporations to gamble their money and entice people to play. Do you believe that, or no?
No, I think it's more real.
Okay. I'm familiar with this personally, but when you join certain online casinos, like the one Grosvenor that me and you both go to, they offer promotions like free £20 if you deposit a tenner. But what they don't tell you is that these promotions are all based on that wagering limit. It's something that's extremely unlikely to reach, like, bet a pound, you've got to get 100% of that on slots. Obviously, it's stated in the small print, they are legally, they have to do that. But do you think these gambling organisations, they should have to declare this a lot clearer? Or do you think they're be allowed to stay the way they are, this very small print?
Yeah, it does need to be more clear. It should be at least in bold or like at the start of the page when it says...
I'm all about that as well. Like when you first go on, it should say, yeah, you're depositing £10, but you must reach 100 times. It's so small print, you can't read it, can you? You're not giving people a chance, and you're almost promoting people, and you're promoting the addiction.
Yeah.
I think. Back to a YouTuber that we're familiar with, Stop and Step. A lot of his videos are based in the bookmakers, and he does videos on these betting terminals, and these are known to ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
There was no maximum stake limit, but recently they have introduced a £2 stake as a maximum bet. Do you think these drastic changes are enough, or is it just too late down the line now?
It's definitely too late.
Do you think the damage has already been done?
Yeah, I've lost a few friends to gambling who've gambled their lives away and lost wives, houses, everything.
Joe, would you say you are addicted to gambling?
Yes.
You're an avid gambler now, Joe. Do you plan to quit gambling anytime soon?
Don't think so, no.
Why is that?
It's just fun, for the odd better.
Is it the thrill, the rush, the excitement? What do you get from it?
Yeah, the excitement.
Do you have a specific set of numbers when you go in the casino and you play roulette?
Yeah. 6 and 34. Go to 2 number.
From a personal perspective now, Joe, what do you think needs to be done to stop young people wasting money in bookmakers and casinos?
They definitely need to up the age limit to about 21, at least.
That is drastic. What's your thoughts behind that?
You know, the body's still developing until the age of at least 21,
Yeah.
so not really sure what you're doing at the time.
Do you think that the gambling organisations are brainwashing people of our age?
Pretty much, yeah. They know what they're doing.
Joe, my final question to you today is, do you feel you've been personally exploited by the gambling industry?
In a way, yeah.
Explain to me.
Just, you know, enticing us to bet all the time and online and making us offers for deposits and free bets.
So when you go to these casinos, are they very welcome to you? Like, hello my friend, how are you? Free drinks?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way they're doing it.
Yeah,
To be
definitely.
fair, this needs to stop. Joe, thank you very much for taking part in my documentary.
My pleasure.
Following my interview with my friend Joe, I had a lot of questions that I wanted answering. The first was why these gambling corporations do not ask for verification of your age when you sign up. They only offer a bogus enter your date of birth, which to be honest, anyone can fake. The funny thing about this age verification process is if you do want to withdraw some funds, you immediately have to prove your age by either a driving licence or a passport. So, they're happy for you to lose money if your age isn't properly verified, but once you do win and you do try to take some money out, they immediately want proof of age. Bit of a coincidence, isn't it? I contacted all of the main gambling organisations over on Twitter to see what their answer is to my question. And really, not to my surprise, none of them got back to me. Teens are being enticed further through adverts before big football matches, with live odds being shown right before kick-off in a bid for these corporations to get a last-minute punt off you. For example, Bet365 use actor Ray Winston, a hero amongst young men who are the main demographic for this company. With this advert, they deliberately create a come in and have a bet if you dare in an attempt to lure in their prey. The When the Fun Stops Stop campaign has to be shown at the end of every single betting advert. My issue with this is not what the message is saying, but with the time it's actually on screen. It is minute. Why isn't there a minimum screen time in place? Obviously these corporations have to put this video in for legal terms, but for the minimum time that they do put it in, it shows that these corporations do not care about you and they don't care about your well-being. A positive gambling related advert that I have seen is the Be Gamble Aware commercial. These ads are aimed at young people who put sports bets on without any thought to try and win back the money they have previously lost. Be Gamble Aware do a lot for people suffering with gambling addictions, and if you are one of those affected, please check out their website for more help. A way this is done is through something called promotions. Promotions are used by every single gambling corporation on the planet. Personally, I see this a lot in horse racing, especially during big races like the Grand National, where, for example, Paddy Power offered a £20 free bet on a specific race. If you lose, you get your money back. The main issue I have with these promotions is that they state one thing and do another. Promotions are totally misleading, as the small print does state the exact terms and conditions, but people do not take notice and proceed without caution. Yes, of course these gambling companies will just say they've declared everything, but I just feel more action needs to be taken. As a law, all gambling corporations should state the exact terms and conditions of their promotions. They shouldn't be hidden at the bottom of their website. In my opinion, this would prevent millions of people from even starting the gambling cycle. The bottom line is, gambling is a risk that can be rewardful, but you must be careful with your actions. If you have any problems with gambling or have a family member or friend who you feel is at risk, please visit these websites for more information.